Who are you?
I'm a woman. I'm an Italian feminist. I'm a psychologist, a psychotherapist that with two main interests. One is epistemology and the way we think and we relate with knowledge, and the other one has to do with health. So, to create contexts which are healthy. I'm not only this, I'm also a person who has followed shamans and a spiritual path for many, many years. And I go around and look for other ways of curing, not to become a shaman myself, but in order to just to see how other people cure and relate to health.
A metaphor you will use about yourself?
A metaphor I would use about myself could be one could be a psychic architect, or it could be an alchemist. Anyhow, somebody who shares a reality with somebody else, and within this dialogue tries to change or make emerge or deconstruct uh, things that happen. So I would say that I am, yes, somebody who works with other people to create a process within a collaborative and a dialogical context. I would say that I need to share a responsibility with somebody else. So I'm thinking of a creative work that we do together in a relationship.
A metaphor you will use for the book?
A metaphor I would use for a book would be probably, I kind of thought of a geography text, a text in which there are written some recipes, but the main thing is a book that makes emerge certain realities, like, for example, a book of geography that tells you the difference between mountains and hills, or rivers and big rivers, or things like that. Because my idea is that I think a geography book, what it does, it makes a context emerge, it reads a context, and then it manages it. And that's exactly what the book tries to do.
What does this book mean to you?
This book represents a lot for me, since it is the resume, or it holds all what I have learned in the last 40 years of my job. And in 1970, Mara Palazzoli Servini wrote a very important book that was called in Italian Sul fronte dell'organizzazione. That is a book that has never been translated in English, that talks about how different mental health professionals can enter into institutions, being mental health clinic, being hospitals, being places where women work, or schools, whatever. And I am trying to take her testimony and write a book 40 years later on the same subject, adding and enhancing what she did.
Whom did you write this book for?
I think this book is written both for students, because it teaches them how to enter a new context for the first time, a context that they don't belong to and in which they will have to work. For example, a clinic, or how to enter a project, a new project. And it teaches the main operations that you have to do in any context in which you enter. It's also written for professionals in order for them to enhance what they have done and they do all the time, in order to tidy up their work and organize it in some way.
What would you like to get across to them?
I would like to get across 3 ideas. The first is that contexts emerge from a semantic dialogue. They are not fixed places. They are something that is shared and co-created within a dialogue and a conversation. And this is the first idea. The second idea I would like to convey is that communal practices and psychotherapy are absolutely 2 sides of the same coin. They include and they need exactly the same operations done in different sizes, but they are the same operations done over and over. And the third idea I want to convey is the fact that we are non-knowing creatures, and therefore our epistemological stance is a non-knowing stance. So we are not experts, and this has on some way gives us a lot of freedom. On the other way, though, gives us also the responsibility to consider all the time the possibility that we collude, that we resonate with the system we are in.
Say a final word on this book.
It's not written in English, and I hope it will be very, very, very soon. I have sent to an editor some pages, and I'm going to read from one of them. The world of professional work has changed. Young professionals nowadays need to be well trained, highly focused, and possess good organizational skills. They must be aware of the limits and scope of what they can offer and what they can expect to achieve. This requires not only a sharp awareness of one's ability, but also of the work context one joins. Young professionals have to find and establish their own roles and positions, working respectfully in partnerships with employers, clients, and the various agencies. In order to do this, they cannot rely on improvisation, but must acquire specific reflexive skills. This book offers pragmatic know-how as well as a conceptual framework from entering a new work setting.